Hi guys, how are you? This is Bridget Rowell, Divine Essentials. So, I've already pulled some cards because it's very late and I don't want to make a crazy long video. And you can tell that I've been over here for a while because she's up here. So, you gotta go. Hopefully she stays. Anyways, I am using the Romantic Tarot for some of the energies, and I pulled like feminine and masculine energies and then some shared energies down the middle, and then down here I asked, like, what is this about? You know, like, what's this reading going to be about? Because I didn't read the cards. I just was like, oh shit, I should probably find out, like, what's this going to be about? And I used this deck for that. And the first one that came out was the Swan Queen, which is transformation, intuition, and patience. So I think it's going to be like a mixture of that. And then we got the Sacred Union, which is about partnership and romance. So we already kind of know that this reading is going to be about partnership, romance, whatever, but it seems that it's time of transformation, intuition, and patience. And then over here we had the Well Watcher, which is wisdom and power of the divine. So basically what the reading is going to be about is that this partnership, this romance is now at a time of transformation. People are tapping into their intuition, and there's probably an element of patience there as well. And then also, because this is on the masculine side, I feel like masculines are tuning into the power of the divine and acquiring some wisdom. And so I did pull out the little book because in this tarot, it's a lot different from, you know, the traditional tarot. So we started, tarot. The reason I think I keep saying that is because I'm fucking tired. And the tarot is sitting here in front of my face. So I'm using the good tarot, the romantic tarot, and then, I forget the name of this one, but I'll put it down in the description box. So the first one that we got from this romantic tarot for the Divine Feminine is the Three of Wands with the Hierophant. But the Three of Wands is the Queen Bee. And my name is Bridget, so people call me Bee. I'm Queen Bee. Anyway, it takes courage to say yes. It takes strength to say no. From torn pride filters a new light, expectation. Okay? And the picture on here is a lot different from, the traditional Three of Wands is somebody standing there. Some people read it as waiting for their ships to come in. I tend to read it like usually people are getting ready to embark on a journey. For some people, they may be waiting, for their person to come, and for other people, they may be getting, on that ship and heading out. But in this tarot, it was very interesting that it was written like that, because it takes courage to say yes and it takes strength to say no. So I feel like similar energy to what we saw with like Queen of Swords, but I feel like Divine Feminine has shifted a little bit out of that energy, and she realizes like that it took strength to say no to her counterpart if she did, and if she hasn't yet, that it's going to take strength for her to say no to, like, repeating behaviors that weren't going well, okay? It's going to take strength to do that. But I think for those that did, it may now take courage to say yes, okay? So it took strength for you to say no to the behaviors that were, like, not good and made you feel badly, or made you, could have put you into that Queen of Swords anger or that Queen of Swords sadness, whatever one you were resonating with. I find this interesting because it may actually now take you some courage to say yes to your counterpart. And what I'm feeling with this is that your masculine may have been a certain way in the past, okay? That made you go to that place because you had your tower moment. You went through this epiphany moment where you were like, if I continue down this path, I'm going to continue to get hurt, or I'm going to continue to feel badly about my self-worth and who I am. And so you did what you had to do, okay? But now it's going to take you some courage to say yes. And I feel like there's two reasons why that's interesting to me. Because it may be that they're going to be coming towards you soon, and you're going to have to say yes or no, okay? And I really feel that some of you So it's interesting to me that it came out for a lot of reasons, okay? So it's like, first off, you may actually have to say yes or no pretty soon, okay? I feel like that's indicating, and we see what this is all about, that this partnership in romance is about to go through a transformation. So for some of you, I feel like with that transformation, feminine, okay, and we're going to get masculine over here, what it is that this feminine may have to transform or go through is saying yes or no to an advance from her counterpart, okay? So your masculine may be reaching out soon for something, and regardless, like, you may have to say yes or no. Now, if you are somebody that has been being hurt, or if you've been like a chaser the whole time, like, for those who have already said no, okay, like, you're gonna have to have the strength to say yes. But if you're somebody that's still like kind of caught up in that energy of, we're in limited contact because basically they just contact you when they want something and then they leave you alone, if that's where you're at, I think it's gonna have to take you courage to say no to that. Like, you're gonna have to find the strength to say no so that you can transform your situation. But for those divine feminines who have already been in that Queen of Swords energy, I feel like what the transformation is now is that you're going to have to say yes to the transformation. You don't have to say yes, but I think it's going to take you some courage to say yes, because you're going to have a little underlying fear that if that they're reaching out for something that may have been done in the past. But you're going to have to let that guard down. Like I said the other night, I feel like divine feminine, if you were the one that walked away and it's been a good amount of time or whatever, when they reach out, you're going to have to find the strength to say yes, because there's going to be a little bit of fear. You're not going to want to go backwards, right? You're going to be like, what do I do? What do I do? So I do feel, though, because it's paired with the Hierophant, that this spiritual partnership, this romance, is going to be going through a transformation that requires you to trust your intuition. And for those divine feminines who are still dealing with shitty behavior but putting up with it, it's going to take you this high-level commitment to yourself to say no, and then have patience while they go through their transformation, okay? So I feel like divine feminine, wherever you're at on this journey, you're going to be going through a time of transformation pretty soon, okay? And it seems like a good thing, and whenever we see the tower, whenever we see the tower, it's a crumbling of our current situation. People look at the tower moments as a bad thing, but we are using the good tarot, so it's a good tower, okay? I feel like this is a crumbling of the current situation. Maybe you're in separation, no communication. Crumbling of that transformation with your partnership union. Maybe your counterpart, has been bad to you, and you have put up with it for too long. Time for the crumbling of that transformation, patience, okay, in regards to this union. And for others of you, I think it's going to be that, like, you're going to have to find that courage to say yes and to see where this commitment goes, okay? See if they're true to their energy, okay? Because I am picking that up, that for a majority of you, because I know a majority of you have been in that Queen of Swords energy, you cut your person out, I feel like they're gearing up to come back. And it may not be right away, but when they do come back, it's going to take you finding some strength to say yes, okay? And then divine masculine had the Knight of Swords. I mean, not the Knight of Swords. He had the Page of Swords. Oh, it is the Knave of Swords. The Slave of Love. What a surprise when the destiny cannot dampen the light of love. What joy when the end is not yet ended. Alright? So it's like, what a surprise when the destiny cannot dampen the light of love. So, what joy when the end is not yet ended. Intelligence. So this is actually usually a card about, like, inspired actions towards something. So I feel like this masculine, even though the feminine walked away, they're not letting that stop this commitment. Okay? They're not letting that stop this. They're like, I'm going to go back. And it's like they're in this energy of they've got this intelligence behind it. So it's like, this is not yet ended. They're going to come up with something. You see how they're holding on to that whatever. It's kind of like the light bulb, their candle thingy. I feel like they're gonna try something. They're gonna do something that you wouldn't expect, or they're gonna say something that you wouldn't expect. There's something they've got up their sleeve, and like we've been saying with the Magician coming out all week, it's like their final trick is to change. Okay, so I feel like they have changed, and they're getting intelligent with how they're going to approach their feminine, or it could be that they're getting like they're doing things. Maybe they're trying to like figure out things that they can do to get their feminine's attention, or they could be trying to get their feminine to reach out to them. But I think what's going to happen is they're like, what it really is that they're getting inspired ideas on how to go towards these Queen of Swords who had to say no at some point. And if you're the divine feminine that has to say no, like if you've been putting up with things that you know you got to say no to, I feel like what Spirit is saying is that it's not going to be the end of it. Don't go into a place of fear that if you cut this person out, that it's going to be the end of this connection. You know, you're going to have to find that strength and that courage to say no to the bad behavior, to transform it. But Spirit's, you know, letting you know that it's not going to be the end of it. Okay, like what joy to know that it will actually be the transformation that you've been wanting. Okay, and when we get the Empress next to that, it makes me feel like that's really what it is. So if you're still in contact and you're in a karmic situation that you know you probably need to cut off, I feel like through that, you know, your masculine will see you as an Empress, and it won't be the end of your connection. But if you're somebody else that already cut them off and said, nope, this isn't working for me, you know, you took that next level commitment for yourself, I feel like Spirit is, you know, like they're getting inspired ideas on how to come towards an Empress, because they haven't dealt with this Empress before, right? You're a new version of yourself. So they're getting like ideas on how to come back, because this ain't over in their eyes, and they're not allowing that to happen. They've had some sort of epiphany. They've had some sort of light go on, and they're like, I know what I'm going to do. And this is going to work, you know? For some of them. For some of them, it could just be that they're like, this isn't over yet, but I got to feel it out. So they could be like trying to think of things to do to get your attention, or trying to think of things to do to test you or something. Like there's something going on, okay? It's like they're wanting to get your attention. They're wanting to test you to like see if you like almost to see like, or they could just be watching you too. Like they could just watch you to see like when it's safe to approach. I'm picking up on that, or like when it's like, I don't, like, there's something that they're trying to do, you know? They've got some sort of idea that they've got about their Empress. And I just think it's funny that it said, you know, it's not over. It's like, and it's about intelligence. So they've got some sort of idea up their sleeve that they're working on. And I think it's going to mean that feminine has to say yes or no to. All right? So, you know, take it as it resonates, leave the rest. But if you're masculine, let us know down in the comments, like, what the hell you're planning. And so then, over here for the Hierophant, I just wanted to check this out really quickly, because I didn't read it. Hierophant. The Prince of Faith. Sometimes you need to forgive. Spiritual peace quells passions and opens the door to intelligent love. And then it's the little thing under there is self-control. So for some feminines, you're going to have that self-control to say no. But really, I think this is for the feminines that have been angry for a while and have, you know, cut their masculine off. It's time for you to forgive your masculine. The peace is going to bring, like, that passion of love back. It's going to transform this. And it's going to be intelligent love. Okay, so maybe if you're hurt, maybe if you're angry, it's going to take some self-control to not be like, no. You know, like, you're going to have to be like, you're going to have to let that sword down a little, okay? Because they've been working on this, you know, like, they put some effort into it. It may not feel like it, but they've put some effort into it, okay? So you gotta give them a little bit of something, all right? You gotta let them in a little, all right? But I do feel that this is calling for forgiveness. So it's calling for the divine feminine, the Queen of Swords, who's been like, nope, to let that down and forgive, and for some feminines to put it up and say no, and then, you know, trusting that that's not going to be the end of it. And then we're going to read the Empress. The Empress is the Lady of the Ring. Grace and kindness can do much for the gentle soul. Those who know how to substitute seduction for strength win. All right? So I really feel like it is. It's like what we've been talking about all week, okay? So if you had to say no more to booty calls, if you had to say no more to bad behavior, you aren't going to allow them to seduce you into doing things that hurt you. Like, you stop that. It's like they now, like, that's how you win, okay? You don't want to be a hoe. You want to be a housewife, right? You want to be, and I'm just saying, like, you want to be somebody of value and worth. It's just a term, okay? I just feel like somebody would have been like, I don't want to be a housewife, but you guys are pretty cool, so I don't know. Like, I'm pretty good with being a housewife, but doing this, I'm always home. I don't mind being a housewife, but since I've lived with my dad, I've been spoiled, though. He does everything down there. Like, I clean the floors all the time, but he takes out the trash. He does, well, I don't really use dishes, but he does the dishes. And I guess that's like all he does. What else does he do? I guess that just seems like a lot because the guy I lived with for 10 years did absolutely nothing. Like, I did his laundry, I folded his clothes, I cooked for him, I cleaned for him, I did everything for him, I shopped for him, his kids, like, I did everything. I did the trash, I did the dogs, I did everything by myself. So having somebody to, like, take out trash, I guess, is amazing in my world. But anyways, I digress. It's time for you to be that empress. And I think for those who are already in this empress energy, these masculines are getting inspired ideas on how to go towards her. And it was you being that Queen of Swords that actually led to them seeing the empress in you. They're afraid of it, but they know that underneath that Queen of Swords is love. Like, they know that you love them, and they're like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. But it's good because they're putting like effort into it, and that's all that the feminine wanted, was like some sort of fucking effort to show that you care, okay? Like, just a little tidbit of care, and they were like, yay, thank you. So it really does seem like what we've been talking about. It's time to build the tower back up together and to transform the connection, right? Trust the intuition, and also be patient, because I'm sure this stuff isn't going to happen overnight, but I do feel like it's happening, all right? And also, it may not take, it may take you a little bit longer to come down from the Queen of Swords energy, okay? But I think you need to make that commitment to yourself, Divine Feminine, and Divine Masculine. Whatever your idea is, like, follow through, because it seems like a good one. It seems like you've recognized, like, these messages are awesome, especially for what we've had all week long. It's like, oh my god, the story unfolds. And so, well, all right, I just pulled them out, but Earth and Air Dragon represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. Stay balanced, ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. So this is another shared energy. I got the shared energy down the middle here. So the tower was shared, this Earth and Air Dragon, and then the Swan Queen are the shared energies between masculine and feminine. So I feel like a perfect balance of heaven and earth. It's like this connection is a perfect balance of heaven and earth. All right, and it says earth and air, so you could be dealing with an earth sign, you could be dealing with an air sign. But it's about staying balanced right now, okay? Ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. So, masculine, if you've been, like, coming up with something that you're thinking about doing, or you're trying to do something to grab the attention of your empress, continue on with that. Ground your vision, manifest it. Don't get discouraged if, like, it doesn't happen instantly. Like, whatever it is that you're trying to do, or whatever it is you're trying to manifest, stay with it. Don't get discouraged. Don't get angry. Just stay calm and grounded in it. And Divine Feminine, same thing. Whatever your vision is, whatever, like, this is invoking inside of you, whatever that looks like to you, hold on to that, because I really feel like these masculines are coming up with something to get their empress's attention. Like, they want to make that next level commitment. And that doesn't have to mean commitment. That doesn't mean we're boyfriend and girlfriend. That just means that they're making some sort of commitment that to come back into your life and to, like, communicate with you on a different level than they were before. Like, maybe they want to court you instead of, like, just fuck you, right? Like, they want to do something with you beyond sex. Maybe communicate with you, like, that's whatever, your next level is. you know, take what you can get, because this is something that is evolving over time. But wouldn't you rather be building together than in separation? So let down the guard a little bit to let them in with this inspired, but only if it's different, you know. Don't go back to bad behavior. I want to make that clear, that some of you have to be the Queen of Swords and some of you have to let that down a little bit now. Just depends on where you're at on your journey, but I don't want to exclude anybody. And masculine, you know, whatever your idea is, do what you've been inspired to do. And then on Divine Feminine, we have the good tarot now that we're moving down to. We have the Sun. So the Divine Masculine energy is showing up on Divine Feminine side. I think of the Sun as the masculine energy. But with the High Priestess here, you know, it's like you are in this place of balance, which is funny because this is on the same line as the others. Like, if you can see, oh, you can't really see. So I've got a line here, and then a line down here, and then a line down the middle. But anyways, Divine Feminine, you have a good mix on this perfect balance of heaven and earth of masculine and feminine energy. The High Priestess is a very feminine aspect, and she's intuitive, and she is, you know, she's silent. Okay, so I feel like you've been silent in this connection, but it was that silence that gave this masculine the time to come up with whatever it is that they're coming up with. So it may take some more patience, okay? Be mindful that that patience is still here, that it may take some patience for this masculine's idea to come to fruition, but I do feel like, you know, it would be good for you to start working on bringing down your guard now, so that when they do what they're thinking about doing, you're not like blocking it, okay? You're not like, fuck you. You're not gonna kill him, all right? You're not angry with him anymore. You're not gonna say no. It's gonna take that strength to say yes. For some of you, though, I feel like you're gonna have to go silent. You're gonna have to find that confidence or that strength inside of you. Masculine energy represents strength to me. So it's like that strong, confident energy to say nope and then be silent so that your masculine can transform, all right? And why I feel like that is because over here, we've got Hermit and the King of Earth. So for masculine, many of the masculines, I feel like, were in this time of Hermit, okay? They went into this time of reflection. Some of them could have even been in depression. But through that time, they thought a lot. They thought a lot about this connection. They thought a lot about the High Priestess and her silence. Because they didn't expect that, right? They didn't expect this transformation, you know, and they didn't expect their feminine to stay silent with them this long. I think many of them were probably expecting their feminine to reach out before. And so feminine, you held on to your strength. And if you haven't yet, then you need to hold on to that and remain silent, because what happens as a result over here is that they go into reflection mode. They start thinking about this, and then they become the King of Pentacles, the most valuable king in the deck. They transform, and they're patient, and now they're tuning into their intuition, and now they've got inspired ideas on how to treat the Empress, on how to, you know, become that next level person that is worthy of this type of connection and is ready to bring in heaven on earth. And they're recognizing that it's going to be that now. Okay? So it's like they've gone through transformation on both sides, but really the message here is, feminine, you're going to have to, you know, be a little softer or a little harder depending on what's going on with your person, you know, and make that commitment to yourself. And then masculine, you know, follow on with your idea. You've got something brewing in your mind. If you don't already know it in the physical, tune into it like intuitively through your intuition, like meditate, you know, go inward and figure out what this is. And, you know, like as a divine feminine, I can tell you, like, something that would be, you know, good for the Empress in this modern day world would probably be like send her flowers or something, you know, like things like that. Like if you've been thinking like maybe I should send flowers, or maybe like even like a little like anonymous love note, because that's a clever thing to do, because, you know, she won't know where exactly it came from, but, you know, you may be able to find out if she thinks it's you, you know, like if she reaches out like, hey, did you do this? And then you can be like, yeah, if you did. If you didn't, don't take the credit for it. But you know what I mean? Like, you may be able to find out if she's like interested. for masculines. And for feminines, you know, like, maybe put down in the comments what you'd like to see your masculine do for you, like, what inspired idea you'd like, because there's a lot of masculines out there that watch these, and I feel bad because they don't get a lot of messages, because it's a majority of feminines. So feminine, help those masculines out, and help their feminines out on what they should do. Alright, so anyways, we've got the High Priestess and the Sun down here. So I really feel like, you know, you're illuminating right now. You're glowing, okay? And it's that glowing, illuminating, intuitive, beautiful princess, High Priestess woman that you are, that, you know, your King of Pentacles decided to become this person that's going to change and reflect and learn and grow. And down here we've got the Well Watcher, which is wisdom, power of the divine. Alright? So I feel like they watched you transform. This masculine, you know, he watched you transform, and that's where he's, like, getting these, like, okay. But guess what? He transformed too, because he was hidden away watching your transformation and being pulled back towards you due to that transformation. And so now he's gained the wisdom. He's got the power of the divine on his side. He's got the owl sitting there with him. So it's like he's intuitively being guided on what to do now. And I think he is. He's seeing, like, the synchronicity. It's like he can't turn it off. He's getting the messages regardless if he wants them or not. It's like Spirit is pushing him now at this point, and it's like he can't turn that off. But it really was like watching you walk away, watching you transform, watching you stay strong, that has made him transform and reflect and recognize the value of the connection, and recognizing that it is bringing heaven down onto earth. And so now they're ready to build their tower back up. They've had those epiphany moments. They're ready for this transformation. And this is number 13, which is the number of the divine feminine. So it's like divine feminine, you may have gone first in your transformation, and you trusted your intuition, but you're being patient. And so continue in that energy, because I think you're going to manifest your sacred union. Number 27, so if we add that up to 9, that's the ending and new beginning. Partnership and romance. This is the new beginning of your romance, but it's funny because endings and new beginnings, some of you are going to have an ending of your current thing so that you can get to this point on your journey. And others of you just need to let your guard down, and then you're going to have your partnership and your romance with your person who's acquired the wisdom to come and look into the mirror. We got number 44 on the bottom of this deck, which is reflection, non-judgment, the lady of the mirror. Okay, so it's like they're, you know, it's both of you are ready to look into the mirror and to reflect this healing back to each other of non-judgment. So trust, okay, it's time for non-judgment of each other. And the one underneath that is the cosmos, creativity and vastness, which is funny. So it's like feminine, you're going to have to be in a place of non-judgment, and masculine, you're going to have to tap into that creativity. But you both need those messages, okay? So take them both. It's like neither of you should be judging this connection. Neither of you should be judging each other. Both of you should be getting creative and like tapping into the vastness that's available to you from, you know, out in the world. And then we got the Fire Prince, which is optimism and aggression. So it's like, you know, some of you got to balance out that aggression into optimism about this connection, because you've been mad at your masculine for too long. And then we've got Air and Water Dragon. So you could definitely be dealing with an air sign, because we've got Earth and Air, and now we've got Air and Water. But, you know, take whatever resonates. The only one we're missing is Fire. But we just got the Fire, or no, well, the Fire Prince is here, so everybody's here. Helps you to connect to your higher frequencies. Trust your intuition, develop your psychic abilities, be open to enlightenment, express your inner song. So I think this one, like, is good for masculine. It's like, you know, trust your intuition right now, you know, develop the abilities that you have, because we all have them. We can all tune into this stuff. Like, I'm not special. I just, like, exercise my gifts that you all have. And I think a lot of people out there are tuning into that and realizing that and recognizing that now. And that's a good thing. But masculine, you're just as intuitive as your feminine. You wouldn't be part of a twin flame journey if you weren't. And I think they know that too. It's like they know that, but they don't want people to know that they know, you know. You know. So Golden Atlantean Dragon helps you remember the wisdom of Golden Atlantis. Awaken and bring back your knowledge, gifts, and talents. Reclaim your mastery. So that is funny because you both basically got the same message, feminine and masculine. It's both of you. Bring back the knowledge, gifts, and talents. Reclaim your mastery. So if you're a feminine that hasn't like fully turned on your gifts, turn them on. Masculine, you know, turn yours on. If you've already got them turned on, turn them up. And I've noticed that things have picked up. Like the other night I was hearing shit. Like I thought somebody was talking to me and it was actually like spirit. And I was like, I had to text my dad and be like, are you coughing? Like, and he was like, I'm in the fucking basement, you know? So like my dad's room is down in the basement. I live up here. That's a big thing. I can't hear him ever. So I knew it wasn't him, and like I even stood on the door, but I'm not usually somebody that hears like that. I usually hear my messages through my, like, I hear just my voice, but I trust because I'm a clear knower. But like even visions too, like I'm having more visions now. So you may find that at this time, your gifts are going to expand if you've already got them on. And if you don't, turn them on. Like start exercising them and trusting them. And I think that's like where these masculines are getting their ideas from, is like their stuff's turning on and they're like, wait a minute, you know, like listening to it for once. And then we've got the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like there is this element of both of them having like this value and worth on each other. Value and worth on the connection, and wanting to do like they're seeing like the stuff that they've grown individually, okay? So they both grew, okay? Masculine grew, feminine grew, but they're ready for balance. Six of Pentacles, okay? And they're ready to get into that Chariot and make the quick action. So I feel like masculine really is ready to get in there and to make that communication, because they've recognized the value and their worth. Like both of them have worked hard on growing their pentacles. You know, they're doing their work. And they're now both ready for a healthy, balanced connection with each other. And then down here, this one, what is this? We've got the Ten of Cups. So it's like you guys are working on your Ten of Cups. You're working on manifesting your happiness, your happy ending, which is traditional stuff. But this is called serenity. The boundless world of space and time of fables is not for you. The gates protect what yours is yours. Happiness. So it's kind of a weird message because we all, well, yeah, we don't, I mean, we're beyond space and time. We get that. But the fables is not for you. I think it's like, you know that this isn't like, this isn't like a fucking fairy tale, right? You know, like you end up with your person in the end, you go through the adversities, but like a fairy tale's a lot easier, right? A fairy tale's like, it just looks better, okay, than what it really is, all right? So everybody thinks of it like, oh, that's great. So I mean, it kind of is a fairy tale, but it's like, it's not, and it's like, you didn't want to believe this. It's like, you didn't want to believe this. It took, well, for some of you may have wanted to, but like for me, like I didn't want to believe this. There's been many times that I've been like, let me forget this. Like, don't put this in my head. Like, but I was guided to the information. And when this person popped into my brain, it was like, oh. And then I actually went through a time of like thinking other stuff, and like, I thought that, like, because I was in a toxic, horrible relationship, that it would be easier to believe that my twin was dead. You know what I mean? Like, not here on this planet with me. Because it was easier to stay where I was, thinking that. But I always knew, like, through that whole time. And then as soon as that person was gone, I was like, full out, you know? But you know, I think, like, we know that it's not, like, what people think, okay? But we're ready for our happiness. We're ready for what's been protected. This is a protected thing. This is a divinely guided thing. Like, and it's funny, because earlier I was getting angry. There's a certain reader that I'm not going to say a name of, but every single reading that she does, she incites, like, she tells you, like, everybody in your fucking life is, like, I don't know. It's just, it's not good, okay? It's not good. And it incites fear in people, and it incites fear in me. And I'm like, why am I listening to this? Like, none of it has ever fucking come true, but it always gets me like, oh, who could that be? You know, like, and so I don't think people should do that, okay? Like, especially if you're, like, you know, pay attention. Like, if something happens, it happens, but know that you're protected, and that this thing is protected. So you don't have to be fearful that, like, the karmic will win, or that, you know, you're gonna fail or whatever. I mean, some of you may, because of free will, but it's like, there's a majority of you that will get through this because you're dedicated to it and you're doing the work. But, you know, I don't ever want to give people false realities. It's, like I said, it's not a fucking fairy tale. Not every single person is going to get into union, and the travel there isn't like la la la, alright? You gotta go through shit. But yeah, so I think people are going to get their happiness, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I didn't want to go into that, like, bitchy mode. So let me just get one more card, I guess, so that we can kind of end on a better note. I'm almost at our time. I think that it's just not cool to do, you know, to, like, incite fear in people. And maybe she's right with others, but with me, it's never been right, so it makes me angry, and I'm like, but I should know better, because, like, if you don't resonate with a reader, you shouldn't watch, and, like, but there's been times that I've resonated with other things that she said, but then it made me doubt that, and I'm like, so, we've got keep an open mind, so Spirit's like, shut up, Bridget, shut up, Bridget, she's probably helping other people, shut up, Bridget, so I'll shut up, Bridget. I just don't like that. I don't like to incite fear in people, but I also don't like to incite, like, falseness in people. I don't want people, like, I'm not ever going to pretend that, like, it's a good message if it's not. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie to people, and I guess I kind of felt like maybe that was a lie, but it's probably not. And it's only because it didn't show up in my life, but who knows? Maybe it'll fucking show up tomorrow, and I'll be like, damn it! But anyways, we all got to keep an open mind with this connection. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And you know what? That's true. Because for me, like, the person, like, that's mine is, like, the person has become is, like, not somebody that I would normally go with, okay? Like, I would never, you know, usually, like, seek that type of person out or even meet that type of person. But, you know, I still love them unconditionally. I'm very attracted to everything about them, and I actually like that they're not, like, you know, into everything I'm in, because that would be horrible to spend, like, they're your mirror, but not in the way that, like, everything about you is exactly the same, okay? It's a mirror that reflects things to you that you don't like, and things that you need to heal, and things that need to transform. So, basically, we gotta keep an open mind with our people. So, whether you're masculine or feminine, you know, and keep an open mind with what I'm talking about tonight, you know, keep an open mind with this transformation. You know, don't get up into expectations. You know, just keep an open mind with what this could mean, okay? So I'm going to run out of time, but thank you guys very much. If you like it, like it. If you didn't, dislike it. If you want to share, go ahead and share. And private reading info is down below. Thank you very much. In Mune, namaste.